Hello there, Dan the Weatherman here. Hey, welcome to my weather show. This is the global edition. We've had a busy week across the globe. We've got some more active weather to come. But first off, while we're looking at this satellite, notice some active weather there across the northern Pacific. Interesting now because these things are coming out of the north of Asia. Lots of energy, lots of juice. And as those track through, those will have an effect on the weather for North America in the course of the next several weeks. But the big story this week, of course, has been extreme heat, and not in the typical places. The Arctic and the Antarctic, and this is showing the anomalies of temperature, red being warmer, the blue being cooler. We're gone off the scale. That whitish colour there, 40 degrees Celsius above where we should be to parts of Antarctica, some 30 odd for parts of the Arctic. That had an effect on the weather too in both places. Deepening lows with a surge of energy, a surge in the jet stream, sending it way north, sending all that warmth from here boom, straight north, and the same thing down south with a big upper ridge, and really having an effect on what's happened. Take for instance the Polar Vortex, the big lump of coal, like a big lump of jelly. Check this thing out. Before the surge of cold came in, it was sitting there pretty solid, and then boom, like taking a fire hose and look at it now. That's what's left. The remnants of it will give us one more little cold surge of winter to northern parts of Europe. I'll show you that in just a second, but quite an effect there. And to the Antarctica, having an effect as well. The Congo's glacier sitting right here to the south and west of New Zealand and Australia like a saltine cracker. There it was, dissipating because of that warm surge, or the warm surge having quite an effect to, of course, dissipate and weaken that glacier. Moisture's been the other one. Extreme rainfall. This is all the juice, precipitable water in the atmosphere where you see that darker colour, loads of it, tropical moisture. But every so often you get these little surges of blue, atmospheric rivers that come out. We had one particular one here coming into the southwest Pacific that brought extreme rainfall to parts of New Zealand. Literally a month's worth of rain in several places in the span of 6 to 7 hours. How is that possible? Moisture, but lots of things going on. The jet stream this week across the northern hemisphere is doing some really weird wiggly things. Gone past the equinox, so that's when you start getting things going on. See that little circle and watch that one. We've got some cross-polar flow. Remember that we've had severe weather across the eastern parts of the US with that upper trough. That will go away. Watch how these things come through. Cross-polar flow, and when you meet, that literally means flow going right across the poles. Look at that surge right there. Europe sits here and zoom, look at that low deepen. That's your surge of winter coming back into northern parts of Europe. Then another surge comes through. And at the same time, it's all moved things around. Check out this jet stream. There's river of air, pretty strong, pretty fast. I mentioned the North Pacific. Watch for those diving down. Just like we had one, you've got another couple coming through. Each one of these bends, there'll be areas of the risk for thunderstorms and even tornadoes. Spring storm season across parts of the US. But check out Europe. Quiet weather, high pressure, big bubble of blue has been the story over the past several days, and a warm-up. Find those extra layers. Watch this. Boom! That's the upper low. That's the change. And when you talk change, look at how it goes on the pressure sequence. You've got high pressure. We run away through the course of the week. Notice how you've got a bit of a cooler surge there. The blue, the rain snow line just above that. And look at this. Wednesday, Thursday, deepening low. Wintry showers, even snow to the British Isles. Nasty low. And then on the top side of this thing, snow from the Alps right the way east with that system to track through. That'll be a return to winter with many places. And look at this. Look at the accumulated snow. Parts of the British Isles, higher ground in particular, from the Alps right the way to eastern parts of Europe. Some 10, 20, maybe even 30 centimetres potentially if that thing comes off. A return to winter, still severe storms, more of them to come through. There is the last system for parts of the US. The next one starts to come together here as we run ourselves through the course of middle to late part of the week. You got a good surge of warmth, some upper energy, boom, and check out the yellow there. Those are probably severe thunderstorms, risk of some tornadoes, hail. That'll track from the Mississippi Valley to the east coast. Bye-bye, it goes away, you quieten down. But remember, we've got the fast jet stream out of the Pacific. That's going to send another surge here, and we're already into probably the first week of April. So there's a lot more to come. Active weather for them. Extreme rainfall, this is New Zealand, Auckland, Gisborne. A month's worth of rain in 6 to 7 hours. How is that possible? Well, you tap into the tropics, you get all the juicy air, you have a slow-moving, stuck weather system that just continues to dump and dump the rain. And the rain nowadays, because of the warming planet, it can rain much more in a shorter period of time, dumping it down. That was the intense weather there for the north of New Zealand. And it's slow to change. With La Nina, it creates all the blocking or warm air on either side. That is the upper low, and it literally takes a good part of this week for that to finally clear away. But while things dry out in New Zealand, a different story. Return flow gives you the flow to eastern parts of Australia. Unwelcome rain there after the very, very wet summer for Sydney and up towards Brisbane for people there. That's the weather for now.